All right, after that, let's move on and shift our focus to our top story tonight. This afternoon, my mother frantically called me, asking me about a message that she had received on her phone. The SMS said in capital letters at the top, "Emergency alert." Now, she was anxious and very, very curious and asked me if there's anything that she has done wrong online or perhaps at her bank, which is why she's getting these messages now. But when I checked closely, it was an SMS for what is called the Cell Broadcast Alert System that the Government of India is testing to use in emergencies. Now, the Department of Telecom sent a pan-India emergency alert on mobile phones today. The pop-up alert was mostly received by Android users, at least this time around today. The message continued to flash until users hit the OK option on their phones. Now, this alerting system in India allows authorities to send critical and time-sensitive messages to all mobile devices for disaster management within a designated geographical area, irrespective of whether the recipients are residents or visitors. So you don't have to be a resident of a particular place to receive this kind of an emergency alert message. They will track you as per your location on your phone. Now, this also ensures that important emergency information reaches as many people as possible in a timely manner. Now, this kind of a system, remember, is already operational in 34 states and UTs. More than 75 crore SMSs have already been sent by the system for various disasters. It has also been used to facilitate the pilgrims during the Amarnath Yatra. But what's also a great thing about this whole system is the fact that you don't have to subscribe to any sort of WhatsApp group or email or SMS group to get these alerts on your phone. In fact, it's not just the phones that will receive these messages. If you're watching television, the TV screen will flash the warning message and there will be audio too with it. If you're listening to a song on the radio, it will be cut short immediately and the alert will be aired. Now, the messages will be broadcast in two languages. One of them, of course, will be the local language and the other will be English. Let's understand this and get more perspective on what the government is trying to do, how India is building its messaging alert system. Let me take this to my guests tonight. I'm joined by Mr. Naveen Bhatnagar, former DIG of NDRF, and Mr. Kanishk Gaur, founder and CEO, India Future Foundation and technology expert, also joins us. Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to Mirror Now. Namaskar. First to you, Mr. Bhatnagar. You know, we know that this kind of a system is in place at several places. But what made us, think about coordinating this across the country, having a pan-India mobile alert system?
Yeah, definitely. It's our long-awaited demand. We were asking from the government, being an expert in disaster management, so many times we have approached the government to do such type of things, which is very, very important and must for the such type of crisis. So government has taken a very good step, but before starting this thing, they should widely inform the people so that there should not be panic. So this time people, because unaware about it, that such thing happened, so they were having some fear. So anyhow, I'll request the people of India not to be a panic. It's a very good effort started by the government, because suppose anything goes wrong. Yeah, we are nowadays, we are so advanced. We are getting the so many informations through our satellite systems and our other sources, that flood is coming, storm is coming, your tsunami is coming, likewise, except your earthquake. But in case of earthquake, before 1 or 2 minutes early, we are getting such information. So immediately we can transmit to the people who are already having the this type of systems, TV, mobile, and other sources also. Most important in this thing is that all the state authorities, including the State Disaster Management Authority, State Disaster Force, Army, Navy, Police, NDRF, everybody will get immediately information, and they will come for the rescue the people well in advance. So this loss will be less.
Okay.
See, in Morocco, see, in Libya, because they have not done this type of practice, that is why a heavy loss was reported there. Even then in our India, Uttarakhand, Himachal, and UP, Bihar, and your other places also, we have experienced, even in Delhi also, we were getting the information already that such type of flood will come. If we were having that time this type of this alert system, immediately we can alert the people, and the people can save their life, their property also, well in advance and well in time also.
So the
it's a
kind of
very good effort,
emergencies that we are
and they
looking
should
at are
continue.
earthquakes and tsunami and all kinds of natural disasters in this case, isn't it?
हाँ बिल्कुल definitely in every type of crisis, not disaster, is a crisis. In every type of crisis or the disaster, we can escape the life of the human being, animals, and property also in such cases, in emergency cases. So it's a very good thing for everybody, and we should be moderate. We are having the latest technology. We have the latest transponder in the sky. We have all the latest technology with us. Then why we should not use? We should use it. And even then, if government want to give some information to the Indian people, immediately with the help of this type of crisis, this alert message, they can give the message to the people, even in Hindi,
Okay.
English, or the
Okay.
local language, they can give. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the most efficient parts of this thing would be to put out messages in the local language as well. Kanishk Gaur, this is a humongous
Yeah.
task to coordinate the government authorities with the security forces and the citizens of the country. How does one really go about it? What's the kind of technology at play here? What's the kind of coordination that is needed in terms of technology?
Uh, Thank you. See, this is a new system which the National Disaster Management Authority has introduced. This is called the Cell Broadcast System, which is indigenously developed by department which is called as the CDOT, Center for Development of Advanced Telecom. And this is one of the most impressive technology because it does not get hindered by traffic congestions. It is not hindered by the availability of 4G, 2G, 3G. It works across spectrums. So that's the beauty part. The other thing is it can be integrated with India's indigenous GPS system called as NAVIC, which the government is looking at launching, and can align with global standards. So the Center for Development of Telematics, which is CDOT, has created this, and it can be scaled at a large population. So India, with a $1.4 billion population, can use this across the public. And what was lacking, however, was the lack of public awareness. There was no alert that was issued to people, and it was tested at a massive scale. So what it led today was to chaos. What could have been done better was that this could have been planned better. Prior public awareness should have been carried out. A clear communication could have gone out well in advance that the NDMA is looking at testing this, and this is an emergency alert. This could have been collaborated with telecom operators just to ensure that there are people who are ready, there are systems that are ready, and there could have also been a feedback mechanism. When you're doing testing at such a large level, there should always be a feedback mechanism from people to tell
Yeah.
them how this could have been planned better, right? Those were things which were missing. Another point is that the staggered testing could have been much better instead of testing it nationwide, because so many people panicked seeing this noise and alert on their phone. A lot of people thought their systems have been compromised or hacked, or there is some terrorist alert. By the time they looked at it, they figured out that this was actually a testing that was being done by the National Disaster Management Authority. So this clearly shows lack of planning and coordination, and only few people were aware about it. So that's why a lot of people were caught by surprise. You mentioned about your mother. There were enough number of senior citizens who were shocked because their phone started ringing
Yeah.
suddenly, and there was no prior intimation about this. So those are some of the key steps which could have been taken into consideration. Also, there should have been a training for first responders. So wherever this was supposed to ring, at least one key person in that community could have been there to tell them that this is an alert and this is how this needs to be responded. Bodies like your police, fire brigade teams, medical teams, they could have been brought into consideration so that they inform the public. When you do such testing at a mass level, if you have not informed
Okay.
and you have not coordinated such a event, it leads to chaos, which could have been clearly avoided today, and the engagement could have done well with community leaders, right? So proper planning, involvement
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
crisis management
absolutely.
communication teams was clearly missing, and the evaluation, the feedback mechanism, and the iteration for doing it again seems to be missing today. So better planning and coordination could have been
Yeah, so
exercised.
prior
However,
intimation is something that should have been given. Yeah. A few months back, the government did say that they will be coming out with this and they will be testing it. But, it was a few months back. We don't even remember what happened 2 days back. So, of course, a prior intimation always helps. But, Mr. Bhatnagar, what sort of messaging comes in such alert messages? Do we, for example, there's an earthquake, will the message say that, okay, there's an earthquake and these are the things you're supposed to do and these are the things that you're not supposed to do? Does it work like that?
Yeah, definitely. So this type of message also in future, we will start it through this app. And moreover, in case of any quarrel or fight with any of our enemy country, they will definitely strike on us with the help of bombs and your missiles and atomic war also. So in that case, it is very, very, very important and very essential for everybody so that we can alert the people and the people can save themselves. It is must. So it's the best time. The government has taken a very wise step. I'll thank God, I'll salute to the Modi government that they have taken a very good step about it. And our people should be ready for that, and we should give the intensive training to the people through this app also, or some other ways and means. Nowadays, there are so many ways and means to educate the people in regarding this, all the threats, the crisis. So for all the crises, our Indian people should remain alert. That is why our loss will be less. Whereas we have noticed, we have experienced bad experience that due to this lack of this such systems, and our people are getting so many deaths and the losses we have seen from our own eyes. So we can escape, we can save our
Okay.
people through this app. So I'll salute to the
Okay.
government. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let me go
Yeah.
across to Kanishk. Kanishk, what happened today was while my mother received this message, I did not. And that got me thinking on, what if I don't receive this message when it is actually required? What if, there is some technology somewhere at some level fails and a lot of people are not able to receive this message? Is that kind of a challenge also that we're looking at? And what are the other kind of roadblocks that can come in times of crisis when the government is trying to put out such alert messages?
Thanks, Shreya. It's important to find out a feedback mechanism. So today you did not receive the alert, but there was no way for you to communicate this back to the government or to the operational agency that was
Yeah.
carrying out. So similarly, there will be millions of people who would have missed out receiving this message, and this is called as false positives, right? Where people have not received the alert, right? So what could have been done better is that there could have been a pre-alert notification where people could have been told that they will be receiving a message. In case they don't, then there is a mechanism for them to tell that the message has not been received. Second, that could have been done was that they could have collaborated with telecom operators. In case the message got failed. There could have been alternate mechanisms such as SMS, email, app notification. Then there are alternate mechanisms for reaching out to people. Then, if you are planning this, then there has to be a public awareness campaign around it. Doing it without a public awareness campaign is, I think, that was something which was clearly missing today. Integration with existing apps. So there are multiple apps which could have been integrated. The existing apps which government is providing, like the DigiLocker app, that could have been a clear way of integrating it. I don't think so. The current system which was used today integrated with any app, right? There were no mechanism for providing feedback and improvement areas. So that was a clear miss out. Plus the collaboration with industry experts that was not available today. How many people were there to talk about it well in advance, inform people, any short videos, any simulation drills for even integrating them? Those were clearly missing out. Another key point is, can this system be misused? Can somebody misuse the system, right? If it lands in wrong hands. Those are some of the key aspects we need to be careful, because the same system can be misused if it is in wrong hands, and that could be used against the country. So those are some of the key aspects that must be taken into account. So planning, coordination, feedback mechanisms are some of the key things which were missing, and that could have been mixed today while we were carrying out such alert. I'm sure that the National Disaster Management Authority will take some of these key accounts into consideration when they are planning such a large level resilience exercise. And there are standards globally on this, which are ISO standards, business continuity standards, which are used out. And if we see something like this happening in other countries, the government does keep the citizens informed. And there are, responders, first responders agencies, which were clearly missing out. So I would strongly recommend that next time we do something like this,
So
instead of
hopefully
shocking people,
these loopholes these loopholes will be sorted out. Yes, in the long run, as this testing phase goes on by the government, these loopholes will be taken into account and they will be sorted out. And only then this whole system will be put in place for use, when we're not testing. I'll wrap this up here. Thank you very much, Kanishk Gaur and Naveen Bhatnagar, for joining us tonight and helping us understand better what the government is trying to do and what challenges it faces and how it can improve its mobile messaging system when it comes to disaster management. All right.